Hello, welcome to an art journaling session. This is going to be a very short one, about 15 minutes. I have a short meditation from this book called The Blooming of a Lotus. I'm going to read it while we meditate a little before we do some art. So let's close our eyes and take a deep breath in. Breathe it out. It's called Looking Deeply, Healing. Aware of my body, I breathe in. Smiling to my body, I breathe out. Experiencing the pain in my body, I breathe in. Smiling to the pain in my body, I breathe out. Recognizing that this is physical pain, I breathe in. Knowing that this is no more than a physical pain, I breathe out. Aware of the state of my mind, I breathe in. Smiling to the state of my mind, I breathe out. Experiencing the pain in my mind, I breathe in. Smiling to the pain in my mind, I breathe out. Experiencing the pain of fear in me, I breathe in. Smiling to the pain of fear, I breathe out. Experiencing the feeling of insecurity in me, I breathe in. Smiling to the feeling of insecurity, I breathe out. Experiencing the feeling of sadness in me, I breathe in. Smiling to the feeling of sadness, I breathe out. Experiencing the feeling of anger in me, I breathe in. Smiling to the feeling of anger, I breathe out. Experiencing the feeling of jealousy, I breathe in. Smiling to the feeling of jealousy, I breathe out. Experiencing the feeling of attachment, I breathe in. Smiling to the feeling of attachment, I breathe out. Experiencing the feeling of joy, I breathe in. Smiling to the feeling of joy, I breathe out. Experiencing the joy of freedom, I breathe in. Smiling to the joy of freedom, I breathe out. Experiencing the joy of release of tension, I breathe in. Smiling to the joy of release of tension, I breathe out. Experiencing the joy of letting go, I breathe in. Smiling to the joy of letting go, I breathe out. The last one. Experiencing the neutral feeling in me, I breathe in. Smiling to the neutral feeling, I breathe out. This exercise is to help us be in touch with all of the feelings that arise in our minds. The feelings are either pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. We must learn to recognize, acknowledge, and welcome each one, and after that, to look into its impermanence. A feeling or emotion arises, persists, and then disappears. Mindfulness enables us to be calm throughout the appearance and disappearance of feelings. Mindfulness will help us acknowledge the painful feeling whenever it appears. In this way, we can avoid being drowned by waves of feelings, however powerful they may be. Sitting in a stable, upright, and relaxed position, we should bring our attention to the part of the abdomen just below the navel. From the rising and falling of the abdomen, we should be aware of our in-breath and out-breath for the duration of 10 or 15 minutes. In that time, peace of mind will be gradually restored, and we shall not be blown away by gales of emotion. As we continue to acknowledge and look deeply, we shall see the essence of each feeling and emotion as it arises. We should acknowledge and look deeply at pleasant feelings as well as painful ones, for states of mind born from freedom, release, and letting go are healthy and nourishing. Acknowledged in mindfulness, these states of mind are able to develop and last. Mindful breathing is the wholesome food for these feelings, which are so necessary in our lives. States of mind are always accompanied by an object of perception. Freedom is a freedom from something. Letting go is letting go of something. The meditator should identify the object that he is letting go in order to experience the mental formation and accompanying feeling fully. A neutral feeling is neither pleasant nor painful, but when such feelings are recognized in mindfulness, they usually become pleasant feelings. This is one of the benefits of insight meditation. When you have a toothache, the feeling is unpleasant. When you do not have a toothache, you usually have a neutral feeling. However, if you can be mindful of the non-toothache will become a feeling of peace and joy. Mindfulness gives rise to and nourishes happiness. I wish you happiness today as I go into my journal, my art journal now, and quickly take some time reflecting on what we meditated on and just, just doing my own thing. You can do that yourself. Go ahead and grab your journal and, start your journey on your page by just doodling, coloring, anything that you feel drawn to. For me, I think today I'm gonna focus on letting go of some painful emotions due to the passing of a close friend. It was sudden, and I did not have time to really process it correctly. So it's been a week, and I'm getting into the processing of it. So don't feel like you have to process things right away. Some of the big things in life take longer to process, like grief. I like how it said to really have an understanding when you're not having something unpleasant inside of you, and to really meditate and focus on that neutral feeling that you're having, and that can bring you joy. I never had thought about that. I guess when I'm being thankful, when I'm being really in the moment of being thankful, I do that. So I think of the things that I'm thankful for, not necessarily that they're neutral, things, but just the fact of being grateful for family, friends, health, things that I might take for granted otherwise. And, being at peace inside of myself with the things that I have in my life is another thing. What I have in my life, my circumstances, are for me. They're not for anybody else. So that brings me a tiny bit of let's say, softness, or, a feeling of, that is for me. So I can be at peace with what I get in my, let's say, day in and day out, of life. And you can too. I guess to me, it always comes back to peace. And maybe that's what the neutral feeling is peace. Because contentedness and peace over the life that I have, and that, that I have been given and gifted. And it truly is a gift to have this life. It truly, truly, truly is. So, I don't have too much time today, but as you can see, with just 15 minutes, you can do a meditation, a little bit of art in a journal. Nothing extremely fancy, you know. That's about all I have time for, but I can take a moment to reflect. Reflect in my journal. Write some notes somewhere. So I'm just going to take a moment to write what I'm grateful for, because I have a section for that in my journal. Right. Today I'm grateful for my connection with others. So I want to write on my art journal page, I'll write it this way, I am connected. Because sometimes with the lows that we feel in life, we feel like we're alone in them. But there have been times where I say to myself, how can I feel connected to others? Sometimes I think about my relatives, my loving aunts. Several of them have passed this year, and many of them. So, but they're still with me in my heart. So I say my ancestors, my dear friends, my students. I'm grateful for these connections. Let's say also my daughter's parents, who are my friends as well. So I'm grateful for my connections today. And thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day.